Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jeff Jensen, Director of Community Programs here at Trees Forever. I'm going to get into a brief overview of our programming in three shakes of a lamb's tail. But first, I wanted to share with you a little bit about Trees Forever. Our mission is to plant and care for trees and the environment by empowering people, building community, and promoting stewardship. And we do this in many ways with many partners and have many success stories to share. Next slide. We were founded in 1989 by some ambitious and dedicated volunteers that simply wanted to plant more trees. We are a 501c3 nonprofit registered and working in both Iowa and Illinois, where we have staff of just under 30, I think, with all the AmeriCorps members and the DNR supported staff. Our headquarters are in Marion, Iowa, and we have field staff working all throughout Iowa and Illinois. Since our founding, we have planted more than 3.4 million trees. We participated in some large national projects while always maintaining our roots locally in Iowa and Illinois. And finally, we're supported by individuals just like you. So if you support the mission and the work we do, consider becoming a member. Next slide. Okay, let's get into an overview of some Trees Forever IRA programming in Illinois with opportunities that are going to be opening up here in the next several months. So Trees Forever has three main grant programs that are going to be made available to underserved communities. There's going to be the tree planting grants. They're going to be rolled out first. Then the tree inventory and management plan grant program, then the tree removal grant funding for communities that have achieved Tree City USA status. And then finally, just want to talk a little bit about how Trees Forever can help your community with education and outreach and direct assistance to build your tree canopy and capacity. Next slide. So the first opportunity for funding is going to be with community tree planting grants. These are going to be planted on public property. Initial grants of up to $15,000 can be applied for to pay for trees to be planted on those public places. We're targeting a January 15th due date for those grants, but there are some changes that we still need to work through as we're trying to get some of those details hammered out and developing some of those supporting documents for the applicants. Incidentally, this is going to be a great time to mention the Illinois IRA landing page on the Trees Forever website. So visit the Trees Forever website, click on Illinois IRA, and we have some basic information with more coming soon, certainly. But you can also sign up to stay current and be notified when we make updates to the web page and when we have that online application ready to go live. Reminder, this program is only available to underserved communities and it is reimbursement based. However, there is no match, so that's a good thing. And then this program, we anticipate we'll be offering this for the next 5 years to those Illinois communities. Next slide. Okay, let's talk about tree inventory grants. So for communities that need a tree inventory and management plan, Trees Forever is going to provide grant funding to pay for a tree inventory and plan that meets the specifications being developed. This one, we're targeting a March 18th due date for this opportunity. The work would take place probably in the summer and the fall. We may allow it to run over a little bit. Like our other grants, this is going to be another reimbursement based, but again, doesn't require that match. So that's going to be a great opportunity. Next slide. And this is the opportunity that gets me most excited because one of the top questions our field coordinators get is, are there any programs out there to help communities remove trees? Well, now, finally, after several years of having to say no, we finally get to say yes. And so this grant program is going to be available to those communities that are Tree City USA status, meaning you have to have a tree board, some ordinances, you need to meet a couple of other criteria you'll see in just a second here. This is really the carrot that we're using to encourage communities to become a Tree City USA town. Now we're targeting a due date for grants of April 22nd on this one. Like the other grants, this is going to be a reimbursement with no match required. Next slide. Speaking of Tree City USA, here's some basic information about becoming a Tree City USA community. Details can be found on the Arbor Day website, along with other fascinating information about trees. Just a really great organization overall. Next slide. Okay, Trees Forever is here to help communities. We can assist your town in several different ways, adopting tree ordinances, organizing a tree board, conducting a tree inventory. And then Trees Forever is also active educating the wider public and our volunteers through webinars. In fact, go check out our Trees Forever YouTube page. We've got all sorts of great content there, a range of different things from pruning to invasive species, you name it. Tree keepers classes, we're going to roll that out this spring and fall in 2024. So that'll be an opportunity to actually train up volunteers. And then finally, in-person engagement, tree walks, and more. We're really going to be there to help communities, essentially wherever you're at. We're going to be there to move you on to the next stage of the process here. Pardon me. Next slide. So the way we're approaching our work is through the use of a progressive implementation model. So this is how it works. A community can apply for an initial tree planting grant of $15,000. And then by hitting some additional milestones, like maybe developing a tree board, adopting tree ordinances, they can be eligible for another round of grant funding up to $20,000. Then if they hit another milestone, they can apply for a third planting grant up to $20,000. Again, if they have the capacity and are able to do so. Ultimately, Trees Forever is going to meet you where you are, and together we can develop a plan to build your community tree canopy and capacity. Now, the opportunities that I've laid out here today are going to be available on a yearly basis through 2028, but don't delay. Contact your Trees Forever field coordinator today and get the conversation started. Next slide. Speaking of Illinois field coordinators, here's the group that's going to be assisting you over the next 5 years as we implement this historic opportunity, assisting communities building their capacity and canopy. As you can see, we have an opening on our Illinois team. So if you know any good individuals, please steer them our way because we're looking for another great Illinois field coordinator. I think that's going to do it for me. We're going to take questions at the end. So thanks, everyone. We'll talk soon.